Are we live? Yes, I think I'm live. I hope the audio is working fine. I hope the video is working fine. It looks to me that it is fine. And it's 7:59 in India. Awesome. So we are 1 minute early, which is good too. Like to be punctual. Okay, so this is another live session, a monthly live session. Let us start in our usual way. Hello, good people of the internet. Welcome to not the Unlearning Playground anymore. That's correct. The name of this channel has changed from the Unlearning Playground to A Better Way with Chetan Naran. I will talk about this name change later in today's video too. But for now, this is another monthly live session. Like I promised, I want to come live more often on YouTube. In fact, this will be a recurring theme going forward. There will be these monthly lives, but there will also be live videos which I'll be doing more frequently, more regularly. They will be shorter live videos, just talking about a simple message or two, or commenting into the present moment. And I'll be doing more of that in the coming months. So, with that in mind, let's get started. Um, I have a bunch of important topics to talk about today. There was a lot of there's a lot of things going on in my mind around these topics, so I've written down bullet points as to so that I do not miss what I want to say. Firstly, if there's anyone here, if you can just tell me if the audio is fine. I think the audio is fine. Okay, let's keep going. The first topic that I want to cover today is Kunal Kamra. This is more catered towards the Indian audience here. Kunal Kamra is a stand-up comedian who came up with a stand-up special called Naya Bharat, where he criticized the current government a lot, and he talked about a bunch of other things surrounding our politics. There was a lot of pushback from people he ended up agitating, of course. Um, Pushback which is not really too democratic to say the least. But yes, let's talk about that. I want to give into that space as well and talk about what I think about what Kunal said, what the entire thing was, and how we can be better at this entire conversation. That's how I feel. The second thing I want to talk about is something absolutely crazy that's been happening on social media, which really caught my attention and it really saddened me honestly last month. It is around the weight loss drugs that are becoming much more popular, and how the dark side of our influencer culture is really starting to show up more and more and more these days. So we'll talk about that. And the third topic is we'll be talking about a better way. We'll be talking about why this channel is now called A Better Way, and what is a better way going forward for this channel and for more of my work. So, with that in mind, let's get started. The first topic we want to cover is Kunal Kamra. Now, see, Kunal, the the comedy special that he put out was, of course, a comedy special. I find him funny at times. Of course, I do. I mean, I think he is good at his art. But the one thing that turns me off from his style of comedy, from his brand of activism also, is that I think he's quite disrespectful to people, and that is not my um, forte. That's not my kind of activism anyway. One of the things that I will say is that he touched upon something called Hinduphobia, and he said that Hinduphobia does not exist because we are a Hindu majority nation, and therefore there is no such thing as Hinduphobia, and this is all just in people's minds and they're being gamed, etc. And while that is true to some extent, that people are gaming the Hindu phobia that people have on the right side, I think it's very detrimental to say that Hindu phobia does not exist, because how if you're in a relationship with someone and they're expressing their fears in front of you, the last thing you want to say to them is that your fears aren't real. Your fears simply don't exist. You're making it all up. Just shut up. That's not the way to build a healthy relationship. So purely from that context, the fact that he says that there is no Hindu phobia, the fact that he almost dismisses or ridicules people who feel that as Hindus they cannot be as expressive in their own country. The fact that it dismisses and ridicules those fears completely is the Hindu phobia that they're talking about. Ironical, isn't it? But it's as simple as that. That video is an example of the Hindu phobia that people hate. It's an example of the Hindu phobia that actually motivates Hindus to keep voting for the government that he does not want people to vote for. Now that is something to think about. Having said that, I will say that I respect him for talking about things that are going wrong in the current government. And anyone who says that he's only just motivated to get people to vote for the other side, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But that doesn't discount the fact that the corruption that he talks about and the kinds of gimmicks that he talks that the current government is playing and keeps playing, that doesn't discount the fact that all of those things also happen, you know. And that is where I want to lean into this. One of the things I would want to say to Kunal, honestly, is something that we learned as kids when when we were in school, and that was this line in Hindi. We used to say, "Paap se घृणा करो, पापी से नहीं." In English, it means hate the sin, not the sinner. And that is but an overarching narrative of what I feel is missing from Kunal Kamra's activism right now. He seems to be hating the sinners way too much and not really hating the sin. Because when he talks about, let's say, when he talks about religions going berserk and getting people to do supernatural things and getting people to do things that don't really make any sense, he ends up saying it as if it's only the case with Hinduism. And while it is the case with Hinduism, it's also the case with Islam, it's also the case with Christianity, it's also the case with Jainism, Buddhism, all the religions out there in the world. The practiced form of all of these religions are quite nonsense. They're quite superstitious, they're quite nonsensical. And therefore, what we have to hate is the sin, not the sinner. What Kunal Kamra does right now is he projects all the sins onto one side of the equation and he ridicules them. Now, it doesn't mean he's wrong in doing that, but he's limited in doing that. And that is what I would want him to see too. Because the moment you start to say that BJP does this, the current government does this, etc., and do not say that the other side also used to do all of these things, the current side, the other side will also probably end up doing almost the same things if they were in power. That has to be said. That has to be said. Because what we eventually want, what I feel intuitively, what Kunal Kamra also wants, is a better country, is a better government in a better country. And if you really want that, you don't want people to vote for the other side, because the other side is almost equally garbage, if not more garbage. And therefore, my overarching message to anyone who listened to Kunal Kamra in that special would be to listen to him, to understand the sins that he's talking about, the sins that he's making fun of behind all of those jokes, and then rise above Kunal Kamra. Because we live in a day and age where there is just more divergence every single day. Like any single dichotomy that you can pick, that is always boiling up on our social media, that is boiling up in our societies: men versus women, BJP versus Congress, left versus right, Israel versus Palestine, Ukraine versus Russia. Any single dichotomy that you can pick up, any single dichotomy, there is only divergence to be had right now. And this divergence is almost killing us now. It's reached a stage where it will literally end up killing us. I will talk about that when I talk about the weight loss drugs as well. We are living in such silos that these silos can now be manipulated to actually end up killing us. And therefore, I feel anyone who wants to be an activist right now towards a better future, towards a better way, should look for ways to converge people, should look for convergence. If you're not working towards convergence, you are not working towards a better way, you're not working towards a better future. And that's something that I definitely want to say to Kunal as well, because I personally feel intuitively that he wants a better country, which is something I intuitively feel even Narendra Modi wants. So I think they should both get into a conversation too and talk about perhaps what could be better. Ah, that would be crazy too. I would watch that video maybe. Anyway, is that everything I wanted to cover about Kunal? I think so. I think so. Yeah. So let's move on to the second topic then. I want to talk about weight loss drugs. Now, weight loss drugs, I'm not a health influencer, I'm not a doctor, so I should not be talking about drugs, you know. So what I'm going to be talking about is how this entire wave of weight loss drugs, I think led by Ozempic, is taking over our internet right now, and how crazy it is. I mean, just this last month, I follow a guy who talks about fitness. His name is Jitendra Choksi. He's the CEO of Fitter, and I think he's one of those souls who deep down wants better things and he works towards them. And he's also someone who's courageous enough to actually reject things that do not align with his soul, because his company does not sell supplements. We know what kind of a shamble that entire industry is in. He does not promote these kind of weight loss drugs. He actually wants people to get fitter. So I follow him. I check out his content almost regularly. He posted something recently which really caught my eye. He posted a video of another guy by the name Sarthak Ahuja. Now, this guy, I've listened to him too. He's a personal finance influencer. He talks about how you can save your money, save taxes, improve finances, improve investments, etc. Host of those things. That guy had posted about Ozempic's new weight loss drug, and the entire video was such a cringe to watch, because everything that he had covered, he says it's costing only about 2 lakhs a year right now in India, which seems to be on the higher side for people. But in a country, oh, in fact, let me start with that. You know how he started the video? He says that what if there was a drug which could help you eat everything you want to your heart's content, and still you could lose up to 10 kgs in 6 weeks, etc. Some of those the figures. He said there's actually a price to this drug now, because Ozempic has launched a new weight loss drug. It's called Munjaro or something. The cost is 2 lakhs a year right now, which seems high to people. But then he goes on to say that the early adopters will be people who want to look slim and trim in their weddings. And so, these people, if you're spending a crore in your wedding, you can spend a couple of lakhs to look good. And there was such a cringe that I could feel in that. I mean, how can you say these things, man? How can you say these things? How can you be comfortable just almost, this is not even body shaming, this is just something completely different. I don't think I should have to explain to you why it is so cringy that a personal finance influencer is talking about, is hitting people where it matters a lot to them, and he's telling them if you want to look good in your wedding, you should take weight loss drugs, not talking about how these drugs will influence your lifestyle going forward, how you will be completely dependent on them for life, because if you don't keep taking these drugs, you will be back to your in fact, I don't want to get into that because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a health influencer. But then he goes on to say so many things, man. I mean, he said that the price of the drugs will come down to probably 40,000 a year or something in the next year, and then this will be comparable to taking a gym subscription. So you literally have a choice between taking a gym subscription and losing weight, getting healthy, or taking a weight loss drug and losing weight, but not getting healthy. And he didn't really point that out, because when I was talking about this to Rocco and we were discussing this, he very quickly remarked that going to the gym and working out is actually wellness. This is only the synthetic appearance of wellness, and that is what he's selling right now. And he almost did not have any scruples in doing that. I mean, he's a finance influencer, and he's sharing a video such as this, and he has a couple of million followers. Now, overall, what I felt was, this is so crazy. I mean, we live in a world where we have almost normalized this kind of a business, where a person who can just turn on his camera and start to say things, put it on a social media platform or YouTube, etc. And people will not even realize that they should not be listening to this person in the first place about this. I mean, why is a personal finance guy telling me about weight loss drugs? That should not happen. Why is a weight loss drug using a personal finance guy to promote their drugs? That itself, doesn't it tell you that there is something off about this entire thing? And it gets really tricky afterwards as well. This is just one example I'm giving you. I also saw that Jimmy Kimmel, the comedian in US, he runs his own, what do you call it, a talk show, where there was a celebrity guest, a female celebrity guest. I do not know who that girl was. And he asks her, what do you think about Ozempic? Firstly, why would you ask a celebrity what does she think about a weight loss drug? Should people be taking it or not? I mean, it's like those Miss World, Miss Universe pageants we used to have back in the day, right? Where an 18-year-old girl is being asked, how will you solve hunger in Africa? What the hell does she know how we'll solve hunger in Africa? But she'll give out a textbook answer, right? But again, so Jimmy Kimmel asks this girl, what do you think about Ozempic? Should people be taking Ozempic? And this girl probably is a pro feminism lady, and she says, well, I think I am very pro Ozempic, I'm very pro weight loss drugs. And people who are telling you that you should not be taking these drugs, they hate you, girl. They can't see you getting fit. So just screw them. Take the weight loss drug. Get leaner. Get fitter. this is the shadow side of feminism, isn't it? And this is where I wanted to take this conversation. We live in such silos in the digital world right now that no matter which silo you are living in, it can be exploited to actually manipulate you from thinking what's best for you. So a woman who is pro feminism, I mean pro feminism not in the sense of demanding equality, demanding better rights for women, but pro feminism in the sense that it takes them to the extreme where everything that is being pointed out as wrong is something is something that men are doing to manipulate women, etc. I hope you understand. It's like the shadow side of feminism where has to be uh, everything that is not rosy is all a bunch of toxic masculine people who don't want better for women. And now in this kind of a silo, if you live in this kind of a silo, this influencer can rise up and she can tell you that anyone who's asking you to not take this weight loss drug is actually anti you, is actually anti women. That person does not want to see you look good and therefore you should be taking this drug. And similarly, a silo exists on the other side as well, where men end up hating women right now on the internet. I know a bunch of such guys already, and they would be living in their silos. They would have their influences too, and those influences can also end up telling them that, these girls who do not want you to take these weight loss drugs, they can't bear the fact that you can actually look handsome, you can actually look smart, you can actually have the girl of your choice or the girls of your choice, and therefore take this weight loss drug, man. Be the man you were always destined to be. And similar silos can exist on both sides of the political spectrum. I mean, I can see a pro BJP, a pro right wing guy, uh, and in that silo, the influencer can end up saying, anyone who is against weight loss drugs is actually against your country's economy. They don't want the economy to grow. All they care about is white people. All they care about is foreigners so that they can respect them, etc. Whatever it is. But that silo can also be manipulated to your to your disadvantage. The silo that you're living in can now be manipulated to actually make you do things that you would not be doing if you were thinking critically for your own good. Similar silo exists on the other side as well. I mean, a pro leftist silo, what would that be? Let's imagine a pro leftist silo could be that the influencer there can say that the ones who are telling you to not take this drug are actually the ones, it's the big pharma that is funding Modi ji's, it's funding the right wingers, and therefore they are telling you to not take these weight loss drugs, because if you get fit you will no longer be taking the medications that these big pharma says, so therefore take this weight loss drug. I mean, this is exactly the state of our internet right now. If you don't relate to this, I do not know what kind of a cave you are living in, but this is the state of our internet right now. This is how manipulative, this is how toxic our Instagram, social media, YouTube has become already. This is happening in real time. I'm not making all of this up. And therefore, if that doesn't make you feel that we need a better way right now, we need to find a better way of going about our social discourses, I do not know what will, honestly. And now I've talked a lot about problems. I should be talking about solutions too. And to be honest with you, I don't think I have the perfect solution for this. I don't know if anyone has the perfect solution for this right now. But that should not stop us from talking about these problems, and that should not stop us from at least thinking about what could be a better way to navigate towards a solution. And that is what our better way is all about. And that is where I'll get to now. I mean, Rocco. Hey, Rocco. I see your message here. The ratchet and the pendulum. The pendulum swings back and forth, but when the ratchet clanks, there is no going back. That is absolutely true, man. That is absolutely true. There is no way we are going back from social media anymore. There is no way we are going back from the amount of information that we are receiving already right now. And we have upgraded to that stage already. It's like it's like how Yuval Noah Harari says, we are living in a stage where there is just too much information to be had around us, and almost all of the information is garbage. You have to almost navigate through that garbage to reach the truth. And if you're not making the conscious choice of doing that, you are going to drown in the garbage. That is what is going to happen to almost all of us if we don't realize the problems that we're facing right now. It's crazy, yes. So now I want to talk about a better way. I want to talk about a little bit about why I've named this chapter, this YouTube channel, A Better Way with Chetan Narang, and what is our manifesto, our manifesto going forward. I think what I'll do is I have um, a better way Substack open up here with me, where we have mentioned in the about section what is our mission and how you can actually understand what a better way is going to be all about. So I'm just going to read it out for you. A better way is not a brand or a coaching program. It is a community project for people who have realized that the way we have been doing things is not working. People who want to do meaningful work, lead well, build real relationships, and grow as human beings without burning out, selling out, or pretending. This is so important, man. This is so important. This is not about having the answers, just what I was talking about. This is not about having the answers. It is about asking better questions and being honest about what is not working. It is about refusing to keep playing a game that is quietly destroying good people from the inside. And can you point out some such games in our present society? I can point out some for you: politics, businesses, religions. All of these games, the social media game that we're playing, the Instagram spirituality, the Instagram philosophy game that we are all collectively playing right now, all of these games have, it's not like they are bad games. It's almost as if we have exhausted the limits up to which these games could actually serve us. And now to keep playing those games in the way we keep playing those games, it's actually detrimental to us as individuals, as societies, as a complete species almost. Capitalism is one such game. It's a runaway paradigm where it's engulfed even our governments. Our governments are also working as capitalistic businesses right now. And capitalistic businesses would care only about the top line. They would want to improve their profits, and that's it. Governments cannot keep functioning like that. I mean, what about the citizens? What about the poor citizens who you were supposed to uplift? That is not going to reflect in the top line. The top line will only be reflective of how the top 50 companies in your country is growing. And that is exactly one of the things that keeps happening in India as well. We have the ruling government that will keep telling you that the GDP is growing, that the Nifty 50 index is growing, etc. And therefore, we are developing as a country. We are moving towards a developed economy. But what about everyone else in the same country who is just getting left behind? What about the divide that is almost always just increasing? And there seems to be no way to converge people. There seems to be no way to get people to talk to each other. It's crazy. It's crazy how we still don't see that we need a better way to go about things, that we still don't see that the current paradigms that we're living in have exhausted their limits completely. Let's keep going. We believe that better is possible, even if perfect is not. I'll say that again. We believe that better is possible, even if perfect is not. We believe that people can shape reality and that we do it better when we are clear, grounded, and connected to others who are trying to do the same. That's it. This is not another community built around content. It is a space for adults who are tired of performance culture and ready to build something real. I cannot stress this enough. This is not another community built around content. I think that's also another paradigm that we have run away with. Every single person knows in first degree a person who is an influencer now on social media, on YouTube, etc. We have run away with the paradigm. We have run away with people becoming influencers and creating content, creating short videos, multiple short videos on a daily basis. I mean, there's petabytes of content being uploaded throughout the internet right now. And even for people that you want to listen to, just to keep up with this game, they have to keep creating so much bullshit content that it almost becomes impossible to parse through their content as well to get to good stuff, get to the good messages. Don't you see that as a problem? I definitely do. I think the influencer culture, the social media culture, the content creation culture is also another paradigm that we've run away with, and we need a better way now. Together, we are trying to find a better way to work, to live, and to be human. If that feels true to you, you are most welcome here. Now, this is what Rocco has written as our manifesto on the Unlearn on the A Better Way Now Substack. Sorry, my bad. comes out of habit. So I would definitely invite you to check out A Better Way Substack. We don't have too many articles there as of now, but this is a place where we feel we can directly hit inboxes of people who resonate with messages such as this. Because eventually, what we want to do is to talk to people, to hit people directly who already resonate with these messages. I mean, I know Rocco is, and I know I am also almost tired of trying to convince people that this is something that's important. And so, therefore, we have to rely on our intuition that we cannot be the only ones feeling this discomfort. We cannot be the only ones feeling that we desperately need a better way. Individuals do, societies do, nations do, and the entire human species does. So, therefore, we will start to talk more and more into this space of the necessity of a better way of human collaboration right now across businesses, across governments, across politics, across religions, across spiritualities. We need a better way to exist in the human society right now. And that's it. That is why this channel is now renamed to A Better Way with Chetan Arang. I think this is more reflective of what I want this work to reflect and where I want this work to go. The kind of people who I want to interact more with, I want to collaborate more with, and I want to work more with to actually create a better future. A better future, not just for me, not just for Rocco, not just for our community, but for people who we share this life with. People who we feel who live in different divergent silos, and it's almost, the me versus you paradigm has become so entrenched in our lives right now that we have started to feel that we do not even share our lives with these people. It's almost as if adults now have arch enemies, which is such bullshit. But that is the case. So the better future that we're talking about is not just for ourselves. It's for, of course, ourselves, but for the people we care about, for the people we share this life with, and for people who haven't arrived yet. That's also important to say. So that's it. I think I'm done. Um, if you are new on this channel and you've not subscribed yet and you're still here due to the magic that YouTube algorithms do some days, I hope you get to subscribe to this channel and I hope you get to contribute with us towards building a better way for our future. With that in mind, I sign off and I'll see you in the playground soon again. Until next time, peace out.